everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a standing Pilates workout. So it's going to be a lot of fun, it's going to be really functional and apply to our everyday lives, doing all these nice movements up on our feet. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's start standing to get warmed up. Find a comfortable distance apart with the feet, and then just start rolling your shoulders up and back. Yes, so standing tall. Start taking some nice full focused breaths in and out. Very good. Now just reverse the direction. So now we circle from back to front. Just kind of oiling up those shoulders and getting moving. All right, now let the arms hang. Now we're going to draw some arm circles. So raise the arms up towards the ceiling and then circle them around by your sides. Good. So you're going to breathe in as you float up and then exhale as the arms come down. Yes, so connecting that breath with the movement to really help open up the ribs. Very good. Now, when the arms go up, we're going to add a slight upper back extension, looking up at the ceiling. And when our arms drop down, we're going to soften the knees and round forward. So full body moving. Inhale, up and around. Exhale, round and lower. Yes, and you can go faster or slower than me. Just find the rhythm that feels good in your body. Yes, let's do 2 more times, circling this way. And then we're going to reverse. Very good. So stand tall and let your arms hang, and we'll reverse just the arms first. Feel free to reach the arms as far behind you as you like to get a little extra stretch through the chest and the shoulders. All right, now when we're ready, let's add in the spine and the legs. So as I circle the arms back and up, my chest lifts, and then I soften the knees and kind of dive over my legs. Inhale, reach the fingertips back and up, and then round forward. So good. Once you get the movement, if you want to speed it up a little bit to get some more dynamic movement going, you are welcome to. All right, you guys, let's do this 2 more times. So good. Now, stand up tall, reach your arms up to the ceiling, take a breath in. Now, I want you to bend one arm, drop your hand to the floor and side bend, and then stack back up tall. And then go the other way. So softening through your elbow to reach down and then up. If you want to change your gaze and look at the hand when it goes to the floor, that could feel nice. Good. So feel that opening through the rib and the hip. All right. Now, when the arm drops, we're also going to bend our knees, almost like we're trying to touch the floor, and then come back up tall. Lower, and then lift. Good. Every time you come back to standing, try to reach like you could stretch your body a little bit taller. Very good. Make sure the knees are staying tracked over the toes. So good. One more time to each side. Down and up. Last one. And then just drop your arms. Kind of shake them out. Very nice. Next, we're going to place the hands behind the head. I'm going to turn sides so you can see me a little bit better. Use the muscles on the back of your neck to really press into your fingertips so your neck feels nice and active. Now, all we're going to do is just mobilize the spine going front and back. So I want you to fold forward and flex, and then inhale, extend, and look up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, feel the abs carving up and over, and then inhale to lift. Very good. So now keeping that pressure of the head into the hand so the neck is nice and stiff, and we can allow the upper back to really be the mover here. Good. See how far you can go in those 2 directions comfortably. Next, we add the bend of the knees. So as I flex forward, the knees are bent, and then stand on the extension. Yes, round, and then lift. So the chin never touches the chest, and your skull never touches your shoulders, keeping that length. So good. 2 more times. And lift. Very good. Last one. Feel those abs engage. Whew. Now stand tall and we're going to go side to side. So I go over to one side, open through the ribs, and then stack back up tall. Other way. Yes, so before it was a little bit more of a stretch into our side bend, whereas now we're thinking of it more as an abdominal exercise, really stabilizing through the legs. Very good. Get tall before you side bend. Good. Feel the obliques, the QL muscles on the sides of your waist, really cinching and then stretching. All right, now we're going to put this all together into a full circle. Ready? So we're going to side bend to the right. Now I'm going to circle my body forward, bend the knees, stand up as I side bend to the left, and then circle through that back extension. Go that same direction, round, and then stand. Woo. Go slow. Don't get dizzy. If you feel yourself getting a little dizzy, maybe slow down. Good. Really allow that dropping of the head and the tail, and then open. So good. 2 more in this direction. So really moving the spine through all these planes of movement. All right, now let's go the other side. We go side bend left, almost like there's a beach ball on your lap. Hollow over it, and then to the right and around. Good. If you need to make the circle a little smaller, a little slower, you do what feels right in your body. Last time here, big circle, and then stand tall. Whew. Good. All right, time to get our feet moving a little bit. So take one foot and just reach it out in front of you. Find your balance for a moment. Feel like you're rooting into the floor and then up tall through your spine. Just start rolling that lifted foot to kind of wake up the lower leg. So draw some circles and then pick a point directly out at eye line to focus on. So we're keeping our nice tall spine. All right, now just move the leg off to the side and keep circling. Doesn't matter if you're parallel, turned out, whatever feels good. Very nice. Now circle the leg behind you and keep going. Feel like you're drawing up through your lower abdominals. Good. Keep the rib and hip distance pretty close together. Now, we're going to be a little tricky. Reverse the direction of your foot circle. Whew. Yes. And if you don't know which way you've been circling, no big deal. Just move your foot. Now, take your leg back to the side. Very good. Now take your leg back to the front. So we reversed where the leg was and the direction that our foot was circling. Good. All right, let's do that on the other side. So kick your new foot forward. So we find the balance and the length on the supporting side. And then start drawing your circles. Good. If you need to hold something for balance, it's all good. Do what you need. Now the foot can just keep circling the same way as we take it to the side. Yeah, so as we move the leg, kind of how we stand on that supporting leg might have to shift a little bit. So make the adjustments that you need. Now take the leg behind you. What we don't want to happen is for our abs to stretch out and to disconnect from them. So keep a little drawing in. Yes. Now just reverse the circling of the foot. Keep the leg behind you. Ooh, it's a little bit of a brain teaser. Now move the leg to the side again. So just reversing everything. Spending some time in these balanced positions. And then take the foot forward. Awesome, you guys. All right, now place both feet down and just start kind of pedaling through your ankles. So as one heel lifts, the other lowers. And the arms can do whatever's comfortable. Yes, try not to stick your hips out side to side. Keep this nice and kind of even. And really make the movement come from the ankles and the knees, a little bit of hip. All right, now every time you place a heel down, you're going to stay. Bend that bottom knee to get a little deeper stretch. Stand back up and transfer to the other side. So I bend, I stand, and I switch. 1, 2, switch. Going slower if you need to spend a little time or more time in these stretches. Going a little quicker to get more dynamic. Very good. All right, let's do a couple more here. Dropping and lifting. You get a nice stretch for the back of that bottom ankle. Yes, and then you get a stretch for the front of that top lifted foot. Very good. All right. Now, start with both heels down. We're going to do some double heel lifts. Arms are long by your sides. Now, you're going to lift both heels and raise your arms up in front of you. Kind of test your balance, and then lower the heels back down. Good. Hold on to something if you need to for your balance, and then lower down. That's it. Ankles, hopefully the heels are nice and in line. Make sure your heels aren't kind of jutting out to either side. Whoop, and then lower down. It's okay if you lose your balance. You'll find it again. Very good. Feel these muscles kind of around your hip, almost hugging your hip joint. That's going to help you feel a little more stable here. Very good. Now, on your next one, get up into your high heel and stay. Now, heels are going to stay up if you can. Bend the knees, squat forward, and open your arms out to a T. Hold for a second if you can. Now, stand back up. Ooh, the heels are still up. Return the arms, and then lower down. Good. Do that again. One, we lift. Find your balance before you move. Bend and open, hinging the spine on the diagonal. Stand back up tall, and then lower down. Yes, take your time. Up, open. This is so good for our feet and our ankles. Woo, to stabilize us here. Up, and then down. Let's do that a couple more times. We lift. We open to a T. Body finds this nice diagonal. Lift back and reach, and then lower down. Good. So seriously testing our balance, our ankle stability. Now, if your heels need to drop to make this doable, it's all good. All right, on your next one, we're going to hold that hinge position with the heels up if you can, and you're going to trace little tiny circles with the arms. And don't let that throw you off of your balance. Good. It doesn't have to be your highest heel ever. Just keep them off the ground. Now reverse and go the other way. Circle forward. We're almost done. Good. Now pause the arms. Sink a little bit deeper into your squat. Stand up and reach forward, and then bring yourself on down. Awesome, you guys. All right, next, stand back hip width apart, and we're going to do some marches. So, thinking of our abs really being the helpers of lifting our legs, stand hip width apart. Just lift one knee up, and then set the foot back on the mat. Lift, and then lower. Now try to imagine you had your back against a wall, and you would keep your back against that imaginary wall the whole time. You might shift side to side a little bit, but your head wouldn't go forward, your ribs wouldn't poke out. You would keep that nice tall alignment. Yes, pulling up from those lower abdominals. All right, now let's take our fingertips to our shoulders here, just to give our arms a little bit of something to do. Okay, now when we set the foot down, we're going to bend the knees and then extend as we lift back up. So now giving a nice stretch to both Achilles tendons and the calves. That's it. Lower and then lift. Drop and then stand. Try to find your balance, hold it, and then lower. So good. Really feel that rolling through of the feet. They should feel nice and warmed up and awake. Very good, you guys. Last two. Last one. Now stand up and reset here for a second. We're going to just reverse when the bend of the knees happens. So when the feet are down, my knees are straight. When I lift one knee up, I soften my supporting knee and then come back. So it feels a little different. Probably it won't be as deep of a bend as we were able to do with our 2 feet down. Good. So now it's a little bit trickier to keep the knee tracking over the toes. If your arms get tired, feel free to go hands on your hips. Good. Now try not to round your back. Stay against that imaginary wall that we were talking about a minute ago. All right, you guys. 2 more times. Whew. Last one. And then stand all the way up. Now, to this movement, we're going to add a flex of the spine. So it's almost like an upright ab curl, okay? Now, I'm going to keep my fingertips on my shoulders rather than hands to head, because hands to head sometimes ends up having the chin crushed to the chest. So with fingers on the shoulders, we'll be able to find that rounded back, keeping the neck long, hopefully, okay? So fingertips go back. I'll turn sides so you can see me. We have straight legs to start with. Now, as I exhale, I'm going to march my knee up, round my back, and take my nose to meet the knee, and then stack back up tall. And then again, round, really take your time. Oop, as I start to tip over, it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yes? Those little moments of kind of losing our balance are actually kind of cool, because then it forces us to kind of redirect, find our balance, and kind of save ourselves. And then up. So see it as a good thing. We can learn from it. And lift. Good. Keep a little space between your stomach and your thigh. Hopefully a little bit of a gap so we're not flattening over our leg. Keep it round. All right, you guys. Now pause with one knee up. Keep your back flexed. And I just want you to tap and lift. Tap and lift. That hovering foot. Can you keep your body totally still? 3, 2, that's not easy. 1, stand up and let's do the other leg. Flex over, hold that nice deep bend, and then isolate the hip. Tap, tap, tap. Good, 2 more. Last one. And then come up to standing. Very nice. All right, next, bring your feet together. Ankles and knees connected. If that's uncomfortable, you can separate a little bit. Take your hands to your hips. All right, now find yourself against that wall again. Use the abdominals to march a foot up, kind of like we practiced a minute ago. Now, you're going to take that foot, keep it parallel, but just tap it to the side. It can touch or hover. Bring it back to the high knee, and then put it down. Let's do that same leg. Up. Reach it over to the side, and then lift it back, and then lower. Almost pretend like you had something here, like a small dog or something that you were stepping over without wanting to hit with your foot. Okay, that's a lot of work for deep in that working hip socket. Up and over. And as we take that leg to the side, we're really working these lateral stabilizing muscles of the hip, those glutes right on the side of the leg. All right, you guys, let's do this 2 more times. Up and over. Try not to round your spine. All right, now this time when our foot taps to the side, we end up with a bent bottom leg. Stand back as we lift the knee and then come down. It's a little deceiving. This outer thigh starts to feel it pretty quickly too. So double duty. That's always fun. 2 birds with 1 stone. Down and then lift. All right, you guys, 2 more times. Up and over, and then reverse it. All right, now pause with the leg long, and I just want you to pulse up and down off of your bent leg. So my toes are kind of sliding in and out. Can hover them or let them drag, but this leg is the pulsar for now. 3, 2, now hold your deepest bend. Now this leg is gonna lift and lower. Try to stay centered over that bottom foot. Up, down, so good. Touch. 3, last 2, last 1, and then stand up. All right, last thing before we switch sides, leave that same leg out to the side. Take your opposite arm open. Other hand comes back to that fingertip on the shoulder grip, or grip, touching, not really gripping. So now this knee is gonna lift, kind of like before. This arm's gonna cut across, and we're gonna rotate the spine. Take the hand to the opposite side of the knee, and then stand tall and tap. Do that again. Up and twist, and then release and lower. Yes, so a lot of times we'll do when we're laying on our backs, kind of oblique twisting ab work, right? So think of this as kind of that, but we have gravity to contend with a little bit differently while we're standing up. So really feel those abs draw in, kind of wring out your spine like a rag, and then return. Yeah, it's amazing how much we can work our abdominals without just doing crunches on the floor. Good. Now, we're going to get a little bit of that crunch effect standing. We're going to add flexion. So as we lift the knee, my bottom leg bends. I round my back and try to reach the arm a little lower and then return. I go across. I round, almost like my pinky finger and my pinky toe are trying to find each other, and then come up. So good, you guys. Round. If you ever need to just keep your toes on the floor for the sake of balance, it's all good. Last time, and then come up and rest. Amazing. All right, let's do that all on the other side. So come back to that kind of narrower stance. Open your chest, hands on the hips if you like. March up and over, and then up and across. Good. Lift and over, up and down. Don't kick your little imaginary dog in the head. Pick your foot up to step over, and then back in. That's it. Try to keep the pelvis pretty well still and stable, and make that femur in the hip get the moving going. All right, you guys, the next layer to add is the bending of the supporting leg. So as my foot finds the floor, I lean and bend, and then come up and replace. Good. Lift and tap, and then up and in. See how low you can bend this bottom leg. That's going to let you tap the foot out even further. Awesome. A few more times here. Down and then up. Last two. All right, now we're going to hold that tapped position. Pause here. Pulse off of your bent leg. Up a little, down a little. Up, down, allowing the toes to slide in and out, so not too much weight can be on that leg. It's all about this bottom leg. 3, 2, keep your long flat back. Now hold the bend. We lift and lower that side leg. Tap, up. So good. 3 more times. Pick the pace that works for you. 2, 1, and then stand yourself up tall. Whew. All right. Let's add our rotation with the reach of that other arm. So keep that same leg side, opposite arm out. I kind of like palm up. That feels good. Fingertips to the shoulders. Rotate, draw the knee up. Reverse and touch. Good. You could absolutely do this just bringing the foot in next to the other one and then out if lifting the knee is a little bit much. Yes. Try to time this lift with one full exhale and then replace. All right, 2 more times. Feel like you're spiraling up in this rotation rather than spiraling down. All right, now we add the flexion of the bottom knee and the spine. Ooh, that's not easy. Reach and then stack. Find your tall spine. Modification would be just to tap the foot in, keeping it on the floor. And you'd be amazed, even just that, you still get lots of good ab work. And we get some more work for our back muscles here. Yes, than we would if we were just laying on our backs on the floor. All right, you guys, 2 more times. So good. Last one. Stand and then relax. Amazing. All right, we're going to end with a little bit of a cool down stretch. So step your feet pretty wide as you would like. Take your arms open. Inhale to get ready. Reach your arms like you're touching the walls. And then exhale, I just want you to tip into a side bend. Arms kind of reach north and south, and then come back up. Other direction, side bend, and then up. Good. Hips try to stay put, and the ribs really move off the midline. All right. Now, on your next side bend, you're going to pause there and hold. Bend your top elbow, and you're going to feed your hand down along the bottom arm. Round and rotate till both the arms are hanging over that foot. Now just reverse it. Thread the front arm through back to your side bend and come up. Ooh, that was a little tricky. All right, other side. We tip, we bend, and you just glide the hand down the bottom arm. Relax the head at the bottom, and then reverse. Elbow bends, reach, and then up. Okay, couple more times. Over. Feel free to kind of roll through this a little bit smoother if you'd like. Very good. Over. Rotate. Up. Very nice, you guys. All right, step your feet together for one last roll down. So step your legs all the way together. Bend your knees. Now roll down with your knees bent and just see how round of a back you can get. So pull the abs up. Maybe you touch the floor. Make the deepest C curve you can. And then as you roll up, the knees can come back to straight. Yeah, let's do that again. Bending the knees, rounding. Almost feel like somebody's pulling on your hands for a little assisted stretch. And then come back up. Good. 2 more times. When we roll down with straight legs, sometimes all we get is the hamstring stretch, and we don't always get to the back stretch part. So we're taking the hamstrings out of it and just focusing on the spine. All right, now you pause down at the bottom with your knees bent. Relax your head. Now just stretch and bend your knees a couple times. So now the hammies get a stretch. After all, your knees don't need to fully straighten. Just go till you feel a stretch. Good. Last 2. And then on your last one, bend the knees, tuck your tail, roll up to standing. And with that, we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Standing Pilates workout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a like down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.